It has been another bumpy day across central and eastern Kentucky, and I'm tracking additional rounds of showers and thunderstorms coming up.
We're tracking damage from the severe weather. We'll show you the problems the storms caused around central Kentucky.
The new damage comes as people try to clean up from yesterday's storms. We'll show you the mess those storms left behind.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
It is not stopping. Rounds of strong, even severe storms continue to move across the state right now.
Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey has been tracking the storms all afternoon and all day, really. Let's get to him for an update on this WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Chris?
Yeah, focus of the severe weather right now is across the southern parts of the area, and even here that severe weather threat has come down a little bit. Good news. Doesn't mean we still can't see some localized wind damage, but the overall threat, nothing like what we had earlier with that big bow of a thunderstorm complex across the I-64 corridor. Counties in red with a severe thunderstorm watch that goes until 6 o'clock. Flash flood watch out for parts of the area through 6 o'clock or through 8 o'clock this evening. Northeastern Kentucky, by the way, flooding ongoing here from that earlier complex of thunderstorms. Now we're starting to see another little broken line of some showers and storms developing into parts of the Lexington metro. Let's focus on the south first, though, because this is the area seeing the greatest concentration of strong storms. From Liberty here into Casey County down into parts of Adair County. That's a thunderstorm complex we've been following from west to east out of southern Adair County, northern parts of Russell County, Russell Springs. That'll head into far southern sections of Casey County and into Pulaski County. A little thunderstorm now going up on top of Danville as well. That's a noisemaker, and it's going to put down torrential rains. May cause a little stream and street flooding. How about this clustering of thunderstorms trying to crank back up in a line now from Lawrenceburg through Versailles, Midway area, and right on toward sections of Georgetown and northern parts of Fayette County. This thunderstorm complex here across northern parts of Fayette County, right on top of the Kentucky Horse Park into downtown Georgetown. This obviously area where we've got a lot of folks who are out at the horse park right now. This is nowhere near as strong as the storm that we had a little earlier. Downtown Lexington catching a break, though the showers and storms to our southwest will begin to crank back up and push in over the next couple of hours. Moral of the story, it's a stormy evening for a lot of us still across central and eastern Kentucky, even though as the overall severe weather threat slowly begins to wind down. Greatest threat continues to be across southern Kentucky. When I come back in a few minutes, we're going to continue to track what's out there now. I'm going to show you why my cause for concern increases for severe thunderstorms later this weekend and early next week. Guys, an amazing pattern that continues to roll on across Kentucky.
All right, Chris, that is not good news for us. Well, this first round of afternoon storms caused damage around the area. Winds knocked down trees and power lines in several spots in Lexington.
One of those trees was uprooted on Sunset Drive, which is near the UK campus. Our Jim Caldwell is live there with a look at the mess. Hey, Jim.
It has certainly been a very active day around here, guys, with all the thunderstorms passing through here. We were talking about around noon today. As storms rolled in, the fire department was dispatched to here, to Upper Street, where we are right now, for a partial roof collapse. This was one of many areas that saw damage today around Fayette County. A tree also fell on a home on Sunset and took power lines down with it. And in Mintel Park, a tree fell on a garage from a neighboring yard. And on Woodward Lane, a tree fell on a home and a branch pushed through the roof of the home.
That's right down, they said it, they knocked the ceiling down in there, so luckily nobody was home. She come home 10-15 minutes later and caught it, and water was just, she said it was pouring in, so she just got out of the house and waited till the fire department of UK, give her advice what to do next. So.
And even here a little while ago with that shower, that thunderstorm that passed through downtown, right here in Lexington, still causing problems because of the steady, heavy nature of the rains that continue to pour on. As Chris said, we've got even more coming our way. In downtown Lexington, I'm WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
Jim, thank you. This is affecting a major road here in Lexington. A traffic alert this afternoon because of the storms. Leestown Road is closed from Locust Trace to Yarlington Road due to downed utility poles. This is a live picture from that scene. Police expect Leestown Road in this area to be closed for another 4 to 6 hours. So we'll keep you updated on that situation. In Woodford County, close to 1,000 Kentucky Utilities customers were without power after a storm blew through there.
Families alerted us to trees down on power lines. WKYT's Kristen Kennedy is in Versailles tracking the latest on storm cleanup.
Power crews were busy in Versailles Friday afternoon, restoring power to about 1,000 customers after a storm rolled in.
1 minute it was bright outside and the next minute it was dark.
Alyssa Waltz was home when rain started pouring in Woodford County. She says she and her mom were outside trying to secure a hot tub cover when winds knocked one of their trees right into a power line.
It just got really dark really fast and wind was blowing everywhere and caught a tree on fire and caught onto the electric cords, and they blew up a couple times and knocked some of the power out.
Across town, neighbors were dealing with similar circumstances.
Well, I was nervous for me and my dogs.
Carolyn Cloyd heard this tree snap onto power lines. She and her family spent the afternoon cleaning up and waiting for crews to restore power.
Through the winter, all the snow, we never lost power. So that was a good thing.
Crews estimate it'll take several hours to restore power to all families in Woodford County. In Versailles, Kristen Kennedy, WKYT.
Well, the good news, no injuries have been reported out of Woodford County. The storms hit the Kentucky Horse Park as the morning session of Ichthus wrapped up. The band stopped about 10 minutes early so people could find shelter. This picture came from our own Phil Pendleton, who was there when the storms arrived. He tells us winds uprooted tent poles and knocked over chairs but caused no major damage. Our viewers have done a great job for us, helping us cover the storm. Darby Franklin tweeted us this picture of a tree down on Shady Lane in West Liberty. And check out this shot from Combs Ferry Road in Clark County. You can see a tree came up by its roots and destroyed a fence there. Heather Mann Rowe uploaded that picture to our Facebook page. You can share your pictures and videos with us. Just email them to eyewitness@wkyt.com or use the hashtag KYWeather.
This latest round of storms came as people continued cleaning up from yesterday's storms. Rockcastle County is one of several spots where high winds knocked down trees and power lines. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us the damage.
Cleanup continues here in Rockcastle County. Trees like the ones behind me couldn't stand up to the heavy winds that blew through here yesterday. It wasn't just trees that came down. The sign outside of this hardware store was also taken down by those winds. You can see where it snapped the thick wooden pole holding it up. Broadhead's emergency management director told me it started around 2 in the afternoon. They didn't hear any thunder or see any lightning. They just had that wind blowing heavily. He says crews were able to clean up the trees off of any roads by the end of the night, although there are still some on the ground around the city. They did have some warning because they were watching this weather system as it moved through neighboring counties.
And we knew it was hitting down there pretty hard. We got communications with them. And so we was pretty well ready for it when it hit. We couldn't keep it from hitting, but after it hit, we were ready to respond to it.
Rockcastle County's emergency management told me they had road crews out today cleaning up trees that had fallen near roads in the Brindle Ridge area, but he said any trees that had fallen directly onto those roads had already been cleaned up. In Rockcastle County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Trees on power lines caused some power outages in Rockcastle County, but those lines have since been repaired.
We have some new information today about a violent carjacking in Lexington. Police say Harvey Reeves took a woman at knife point yesterday morning outside St. Joseph Hospital East. According to an arrest citation, Reeves told the victim he had just robbed a business and needed to get away. The citation says Reeves threatened to kill the woman and inappropriately touched her. The victim eventually escaped. Reeves is charged with kidnapping and sexual assault. He was arraigned on those charges this afternoon. Police have conducted another search for a missing woman. Crystal Rogers disappeared from Nelson County a week ago. Today, police executed a search warrant on land at Highway 49 and Paschal Ballard Road in Nelson County. Her family found her car abandoned with a flat tire along the Bluegrass Parkway near Bardstown a few days ago. There is a $40,000 reward in that case.
It's an historic day in South Carolina. After weeks of protest and debate, the Confederate flag was removed from the grounds of the state capitol. Don Champion was there as it came down.
Crowds cheered and chanted as the Confederate battle flag was lowered at the South Carolina state capitol.
It is a relief.
57-year-old Columbia native Francis Parker, a descendant of slaves, was among the thousands who watched the powerful moment in person.
This flag is just a symbol that others use, and it perpetuates the hate.
Friday's historic move ends years of controversy in the state over the divisive flag.
It's one thing to read about, history and current events that happen, but it's another thing to live in the moment.
Debate over the flag kicked into high gear last month when a gunman seen posing with the Confederate flag killed 9 black parishioners at a church in Charleston. South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley used 9 pens when signing the bill ordering the flag's removal.
9 amazing people that forever changed South Carolina's history.
Many in South Carolina hope Friday's flag removal will be a unifying moment for the state that'll bring people of all races closer together. Don Champion, CBS News, Columbia, South Carolina.
President Obama tweeted after the flag was taken down, saying it was a sign of goodwill and healing and a meaningful step towards a better future. Big changes today for one government agency after a massive data breach. We'll tell you who is out of a job.
A popular pain medication is getting a new warning label. More on the concern over some NSAIDs in Better Living.
Lexington wants to figure out the best way to keep city pools afloat. How you can help on WKYT News at 5:30.
I imagine one of the ways would be to turn off the rain machine that is out there across Lexington and surrounding areas. Still the threat for some local severe weather. We'll track that and an even bigger increase in thunderstorms in the 7-day forecast, if you can believe that, just ahead.